Well, the show obviously is a celebration of the music of Genesis and the careers, the solo careers that surround the band. You know, from Phil, Peter Gabriel, myself, Mike Rutherford. You know, so there's music really from the whole world of Genesis that I always call it. And Genesis, of course, are such a great band. They've achieved so much in the last 40 years. So there's a real wealth of music that you can adapt into this show. And they've got, you know, if you like, the hits as well, the popular songs that everybody seems to love. And the music from Genesis and all of the surrounding artists allows me to really have beautiful dynamic journey. You know, there's so many dynamics in this show, and that's what makes it interesting. You know, we perform for 2 hours, but it feels quite often like it's half that time, you know, because of the different colour and different dynamics in the music, and humour as well sometimes in the music. For people who like that kind of music and these kind of artists, it's a real treat. It's a great show. Normally the concert is piano, guitar, violins, and voice, of course. Tonight we're going to introduce a very talented saxophone player. He also plays flute and clarinet. So we're introducing a new element to the quartet show. It's quite exciting for me, you know. I like it. It's nice when something new happens. Martin, who's the player, is going to be joining us on many shows this year, and this is the first one. So I think it will be interesting. We've obviously been rehearsing together, and it sounds really good. It's got a new dimension again, and it keeps it interesting for me.
She always did her best to try and please her.
Over the last 2 years or so, we've introduced a more classical side to the music, and it's kind of changed things a little bit, and it's made the music for me a little bit more sophisticated and musically more interesting. You know, and of course I'm living in Poland, so I've got some great Polish talent working with me now, which is good. You know, introducing the violins with Alicia and Basia, and also with Darek on more classical style piano, and it made it more interesting for me. It's given the music more depth, and it's taken the music somewhere new, which it works very well.
Bartek nas zobaczył kiedyś, jak udzielałyśmy wywiadu w telewizji naszej poznańskiej. Jakoś 2 lata przed tym, zanim nawiązaliśmy współpracę, tylko my byłyśmy zajęte. I później nasz kolega, pianista, który nas znał z akademii, zadzwonił do nas, że jest na nowo taka potrzeba, idea.
Bartek się z nami skontaktował i tak się znalazłyśmy u Reja w mieszkaniu na próbie.
Bo my właśnie występowałyśmy wcześniej też na różnych festiwalach, grając muzykę z bandami.
Same mamy swój zespół i jakoś udało się to wszystko pięknie połączyć.
Tak. A skończyłyśmy obydwie Akademię Muzyczną w Poznaniu, więc się znamy, lubimy, gramy ze sobą od wielu lat. A teraz z Rejem gramy
i się lubimy.
To nie jest kwestia robienia czegoś w ten sam sposób, tylko w tym momencie zaproponowania nieco innej wizji. Nie ma sensu się gdzieś tam z kimś ścigać. Także staram się po prostu wnieść coś swojego do zespołu.
Możecie aranżacje i tak dalej?
Tak. Może w innym kierunku. Każdy gra nieco inaczej. Myślę, że nie ma sensu określać lepiej, gorzej. Każdy ma swoje miejsce. Także czuję się bardzo dobrze.
Z Rejem się współpracuje super. Na scenie on jest tak czarującą osobą. I
bardzo charyzmatyczną, że od razu porywa publiczność i myślę, że to widać zresztą.
Tak jak
na pewno jest to dla nas wielkie doświadczenie i zaszczyt grać z takim wokalistą, jakim jest Ray. Także bardzo dobrze.
Think twice, 'cause it's another
audience is everything. You know, if you don't have people, you have no career. And since I started a solo career, I've always, if you like, I did it the hard way. I went back with the acoustic guitar and did small clubs and small bars, and then at the end of the evening talked to people, signed things, and built up over the last, I guess, 12 or 13 years, built up an audience, many of who I actually know, you know, because I'm not an artist who finishes the gig and then leaves in a car 5 minutes later. I actually go out, sign things and talk to people, and I've done this for years and years. So I've really built an audience in a very kind of honest way, you know, and I feel good about that. I think that's my greatest success, actually. It's a better success than Genesis, and it's a better success than being #1 with Stiltskin. I think my real success has been the way I've been able to build a solo career, really simply by going out and working really, really hard. And, you know, it's the thing I'm most proud of. So yeah, for me, the audience, they stay faithful to me, and, you know, I go back to places many, many times, like, you know, here 3 times now, but in other parts of Europe as well. I go back to the same venue like every year for 10, 11 years. And the reason is because people buy tickets and want to see it. And, you know, without people, I'm nothing. In particular, the first show we had, when there was many of the audience in this room watching me on a TV monitor, and we had a really nice time. And I think it's good on this occasion that we have a theatre for the show. It's important for this particular concert to have a seated audience and to have a nice kind of theatre environment for the show. I mean, my first memory goes back further than 20 years, because when I started performing, it was 30 years. My first concert was at high school, and I remember singing, doing a cover version of Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits, and girls crying in the front rows, you know. And I realised at this time that was that I could do something quite special. That I was lucky that I could touch people's emotions with singing, you know. And that, for me, that's probably the strongest memory I have. And of course, I remember my first concert in a bar, you know, in a pub, or with an audience who'd actually paid money to come and watch me. When I think I was 15 then, I got paid £80 for 3 of us. But, you know, I remember that very well, and the challenge of entertaining an audience who'd paid money to come and watch me. So, but there are many memories. We would have to have many hours to discuss the memories of my life.